and welcome to our live crafting session this morning. My name's Jenny McCormac. I am an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator based in based in the market town of Brackley, which is in Northamptonshire, and that is here in the UK. It is Monday morning here, the 13th of January. I hope if you're watching this relatively live, then I hope you've had a good weekend. And we're back to another normal week, well, as normal as we get here. Morning, Caroline, and good evening to you, Kerry. I hope you're well. Sorry, I always get a tickle just when I start to talk. It's because it's the first person I've spoken to, really. So here we go. We have some new stamp sets from our new mini catalogue, which is this one here, that started last week on the 7th of January 2025. So if you're watching this between January and April, then you'll be able to purchase the products that I'm showing you today. I'm also including some free products as well that you can get between January and February, and that is from our Sale-a-Bration catalogue, which is this one here. So the products that I've chosen, because we're doing coffee and card and we want some nice simple cards to get us started again back in the new year, and I know that we do have some new people joining us for coffee and card. So it's always nice to show them different ways of creating cards that are nice and simple. So there's this set here. This is the main one that we're using. As you can see, it's called Bright Borders, and it features these three main images that coordinate with this matching punch. Now, it's always difficult for you to see the punch because it reflects terribly, but hopefully you can see that shape. It's called To the Point, and it's got this really pretty ornate piece here, and you can obviously use it whichever way you would like. The stamp set has let's see, 6 sentiments. So we've got yay, so happy for you, from me to you, the future's bright, congrats, thank you, and from all of us. And then we've got this little piece here, some infills here and here, and then the 3 main images. The stamp set itself is £19. You can find it on page 58. And the punch itself goes with another stamp set which has some additional images that fit the same punch, and this is called Hugs for Love, obviously designed very much as a Valentine's, or you could use this obviously for anniversaries, birthdays, weddings, etc. And this is available as a bundle, so you can buy this and this together and you get 10% discount. And if you added the Bright Borders in as well, then you could add these free papers to your order. Let me show you the cards and we'll get cracking. So I've used the free papers that you can get, and these are 12 by 12 inch papers, but I've cut them down. So this one here's got Melon Mambo, and then I've cut, which I'll show you, another panel of card to pop behind, just to make that stand out. Morning, Catherine. This one here, this is still the papers, but I've stamped that little image here, these cute little flowers, very delicate, in the background, and then placed my thank you and then part of the stamps on the top. And then this one again uses the same thing, but I've turned the design on its side excuse me, before I stamped my sentiment. So let me show you the papers. Where have I put them? Right in front of me. Morning, Chris. So I've cut these up ready for coffee and card, so I'm afraid the designs are a little bit mixed up, but excuse me, they're all florals. It's called Bloom Impressions. As I say, it comes 12 by 12. There's lots of different colours in here. So we've got Peach Pie, Azure Afternoon, Blackberry Bliss, Melon Mambo, Blueberry Bushel, Coastal Cabana, Daffodil Delight, Flirty Flamingo. We've got Pumpkin Pie, Petunia Pop, and Shy Shamrock. A bit of everything, really. So these are floral on one side, and then they have like a watercolour wash, which is you could use for sea, sky, or backgrounds. So this is the Blackberry Bliss. That's got nice backing. And then there's the yellows and the peach. There's this one here. That's the one with the blue backing that looks, it's just like sky. It would be perfect for a sky. And then we've got some Melon Mambo. And some more here. And I think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. What have I missed? I think that's it. Yes, because they're all multiples of the same thing. So really pretty papers, and you can get those free with an order of £55 or more. So if you bought the 2 stamp sets and the punch, you could have the papers for free. The ones that I'm going to use today are the Blackberry Bliss papers, and I've got a choice. So this is a piece of paper I've cut 9 centimetres by 9 centimetres, and I can either layer that onto white and then onto a Blackberry Bliss card, or I could reverse that, and which I think I'm going to do, put it on Blackberry Bliss onto a white card. There's a bit more of a contrast between these 2 layers. Yes, they are small flowers. They're not big bold designs, and yeah, just small elements of them I think are really, really pretty. And if you don't like the big bold pages, then you could use the reverses of them. You're quite right, Catherine. So we're going to stamp onto a spare piece of basic white, and we've got a choice of the 3 different styles here. I'm going to select one that I haven't used, I think. Have I used that one? No, I haven't. So what you want to do with these frames is let them relax on your table and then take your block to the stamp. What you don't want to do is sort of put it down on here, because it's quite easy to move that out of shape, which normally wouldn't matter particularly, but if you want to punch it out, you need it obviously to be still relatively the right shape. So I'm going to just drop that onto my paper, on my table rather, and I'm going to use Blackberry Bliss, of course. So good morning to everybody who's joined us. Let's move these up out of the way. And I don't know how narrow this piece is. I think it's going to fit that way, just about. So just inking this up. And they're very pretty little frames. As I say, the Hugs for Love set that goes with it also has got hearts and things like that. So there it is, and you can have this either way, and it really depends on which sentiment you put in there as to which way round potentially that needs to go. I'm going to stamp my sentiment, and then I'm going to pop this in my punch and just carefully line this up and then punch that out. And that's going to go onto here, so it doesn't really matter which way round. I think I'm going to do congrats, and then so happy for you, but I'm going to take off the yay. So I've got congrats, so happy for you. Now, yay is not an expression that I would particularly use, so I'm actually going to cut that off my stamp. You could just mask it off, but I don't think I'd use that much of the time, so I'm literally just going to cut this stamp. And I always say, make your stamps work for you. If there's a sentiment that you're not likely to use, but you want part of it, then cut it up, make it easier to use. Okay, just being very careful that I don't cut that piece into the wording. Got it. Now what I don't tend to do is tidy this up, because then if somebody wanted to use that, it's quite easy to put it back together. Okay. Stamp surgery, absolutely. Not everybody likes to do it, but I know that I don't use. That's not an expression that I would use, let's put it that way. So let's just see how this is going to fit. I'm hoping it's going to fit like that. So I've got congrats there. Yeah, so happy for you in there. That will work. And I do like to stamp them individually. I know some people say, yeah, but you've got, that means you've got two opportunities to get it wrong as opposed to one. But I just find you've got more control. If you try and put the two together and it's not quite in line, it's then too late. Obviously you can restamp it anyway, but I always prefer, even if I'm just putting a happy and a birthday together, to do them separately, because you can, especially with these stamps, you can see where you're stamping. And also you can get them very close together, whereas if you put the stamps together and it's got a bit of stamp around the edge, obviously, then you can't always get as close as you want, whereas this way I could get it quite tight up. Right, so I've got congrats, so happy for you. Just going to fit in there nicely, I think. There we go. Let me bring that up to the screen. Hopefully you can see that okay. And I could use this little border here if I wanted to fill that in, or I could use this, or I could use this little strip as well. That would also work. Okay, let's punch this out. So you want to just hold it in the punch, squeeze the punch a little bit to hold it in place, and then punch it out, being careful that you don't pinch your hand in the meantime. And then this is just going to go together really simply and easily. So this layer is going to go on top. Kerry says she's reluctant to cut her stamps. A lot of people are, but they are only stamps. And if it's something you're never going to use, you know, as an expression, or maybe it's part of a stamp that's got, I don't know, it's holly or something, and you didn't want holly, then you can leave it and mask it off every time. So just to show you, the other thing you could do is use some of those flowers across the backing, which is what I did with this one here. You can see that detail behind. Catherine says she's cut one or two. I suppose it depends on how much you're likely to use the stamps, or whether you want to resell them. That's one of those things. Okay, so this has a nice all over design. There's not a particularly right or wrong way, or if there is, I haven't yet found it. And then this is going to go on top, and I'm going to pop that on with dimensionals. I've just got some little ones here. Oh, what I meant to do was cut the backing. I will show you on another one. That was too quick. Okay, so that's just going to go onto there. You could do it bottom right hand side if you wanted to. You don't have to put it in the middle, like so. Although that doesn't look very straight. There we go. That's better. And then I can add a little bit of bling onto that. So what I wanted to show you, and I completely forgot, was to do the background layer here. Now my people from Coffee and Card know how to do this anyway. So I'm just going to stamp another one. I'll just stamp it in Blackberry Bliss as it's all there ready to go. So pop that on there. Okay, so all we're going to do, and I would normally punch this from the backing piece. Okay, punch my piece out that I've stamped. Might need to trim that a little bit. You can tell it's Monday morning and my brain isn't quite working at 100%, is it? Dropped it. Okay, so what I would do is I would have cut this piece from the backing piece of Blackberry Bliss. Obviously if you put it right behind, it's going to be the same size, but if you cut it across the middle on one of the flat sides, you can reposition this. If I show you on here, to get a backing, and you can have that, you know, further up or down, depends on how big a gap you want. So what I tend to do is put the glue on this piece here and here. Let me cover that glue up. And then I try not to do anything like this up in the air, because it's easy to sort of bend it and then it doesn't sit properly. So I've got that one on there, and if you use wet glue you've got a little bit of time to sort of get it straight, and then turn it around and do the same on this one. So now you've got a really nice border on either side. You could cut it and do the other, punch it and cut it the other way as well if you wanted to, but I find usually just one level of border, if you've got an odd, two odd sides, it works perfectly. So that was what I intended to do and completely forgot. So you could add a little bit of bling to this to finish it off. One of the things I thought when I cut these panels up, which are 9 centimetres by 9 centimetres, I've got all these pieces left over, so it would be really easy to create another backing with these cut off pieces. And what I would recommend for that is some tape, which I put ready. No, it's not. There it is. Oh, happy birthday, you sweet thing, yes. It's not an expression we would use, is it? So just going to line these up. Oh, I don't know now. That's quite nice on the backing, isn't it? Anyway, I'm going to stick with this. So this is on the back. And I just put some double-sided tape. You could just use sellotape or washi tape. This is just to hold it in place. Like so. Now I haven't measured these or anything. All I'm doing is putting it into a panel. And then I'll trim that down because obviously that's going to be the right height but the wrong width. You could trim it down beforehand if you wanted to. Oh, I put that the wrong side. I wanted that side. Right, let me see if I can recover that. Oh dear. I'm not going to peel it off, I'm just going to trim it. I wasn't concentrating, was I? So, just going to cut through the tape. I mean, it still looks nice that way, but it was I wanted a different colour match. So oh. You can tell it's Monday morning. So I can take that off. No. Okay. Let's find another one like that. Best laid plans. Or is there a better colour? No, that'll do. Right, this time it's going to go like that. That's it. Concentrate, Jenny. Absolutely, Catherine. That's the plan. There we go. So now I can trim this down. I know it's going to be 9 centimetres that way. So I'm just going to trim this down, trim these edges a little bit. Now you could obviously cut these all to 3 centimetres beforehand, so they're all the same. But I'm happy with that as it is. And that could go on just a plain white layer, or just on a plain card. So I have got all of the colours of card that go with the patterned paper. But you could literally just put that with or without a border on there and then pop your layer on top. So just to show you, if you've got strips that are left over, then either hold on to them, but I tend to use them up there and then if I've got them, rather than wait. And obviously this could go whichever way around you want it. Could go that way around, for example. Which way am I going to do it? That way, I think. Yeah, so just pop that on. And I could put it on a layer behind, but there's quite a lot going on. I could also put it on a coloured card, but I'm just going to leave that with a whiter border, as this is full colour either side. Go, and because we're here, let's just put one on. Good morning, Debbie, thanks for joining us. Let me stamp that in. I might as well stamp it in Blackberry Bliss. Let's just do the same again. I could stamp it in Shy Shamrock as well. or do a combination. There we go. Catherine, as I think many people, she says she puts her strips back in the packaging and then rarely uses them. So yes, I tend to either use them straight away. Depends on the size of them really. If they're very small, then I'll bin them. Let's just do another congrats then. So Debbie, I see you've been really busy with card making and classes. So fabulous, well done. Right, going to move this congrats up a little bit and add so happy for you. So this is the one that I cut the other part of the sentiment off. Like so. Punch it out. Like that. And that would work that way as well, wouldn't it? Although that looks a bit, it's a bit too similar. That'll do. Middle? Yes, I think so. Needs to balance out. Just pop some on there. So that's just using up the strips of the free designer papers. Like so. There we go. Bonus card. So there we have it. So these are our sample cards for coffee and card. So this is using all of the papers, and then this has been stamped on. That's obviously just the paper on its own. This is the paper on its own, and then I've added the backing, and I've done a little bit of colouring in. And then that was the one with the strips, and then there's another one there. So this is the stamp as it was originally. Yay, so happy for you. But I've taken the yay out. I'll keep him in the stamp set, but take him out of off the main card. So there we go, quick and simple. So we've got bright borders. This is the new stamp set. I just think these are, I like the sentiments, apart from the yay, and the fact that these obviously match with the punch. You could, of course, stamp all of these as a backing. I think that would look quite nice as well. So we'll be back on Thursday evening for a stepped up version. So I hope you're able to join me. And then we have coffee and card tomorrow, Tuesday morning, and Friday afternoon in Brackley. The one in Toaster this afternoon we've postponed because a lot of people couldn't make it this week. So if you're planning to join us, you can message me, but we're not intending to be there. Thank you so much, and I hope you have a great week ahead, and I hope you stay safe and warm, and just look after yourselves and your loved ones. Thank you so much. Do take care, and bye for now.